So thank you for coming. My name is Patrycja, and today we are going to explore live Kubernetes hacking together. So get ready for a ride. First, a brief introduction. I've been doing professional software development for over 20 years. Yep, sometimes I do feel like a dinosaur, but hey, who doesn't love classic? I've always been close to code, and that one still cries today. However, over 2 years ago, I joined the dark side of platform engineering at Porto. And guess what? I absolutely love it. Today I am lead SAP engineer at Porto. What do we build at Porto? In short, Porto is a financial cloud. We provide a payment as a platform model for quick and easy integration with various payment schemes via REST API. We are technology-oriented, fully remote, cloud-based with microservices architectures. We treat our infrastructure as code almost religiously, terraforming everything possible. Lately, we are building a new payment platform based on free clouds and Kubernetes. So obviously, Kubernetes security is super important to us. What am I going to talk about today? Just a splash of theory and the functional practice. The key part of today's talk features 2 demos, or if I have time, 3 demos to hijack your accounts, exploiting various security issues in Kubernetes clusters, as well as Kubernetes applications. Before the fun begins, just a quick overview of Kubernetes architecture, just for all of us to be on the same page. There's 2 main concepts in Kubernetes: control plane and governance. So, from the point of view of developers, we usually don't know how complex and huge architecture we have underneath. So let's take a look here. The control plane basically manages the entire cluster. We have several components here, and from our point of view, today's demo's point of view, it's important to take a look at API server and the CD. API server is like the heart of control plane. When we want to create or update a resource, we communicate with that server. It exposes a Kubernetes HTTP API, and that way can interact with the cluster using tools like kubectl. And who loves kubectl? Yeah, almost all of you. Another important component here, which is worthwhile mentioning, is BCD. BCD is the key value store, and it stores the entire string of the cluster. So all the manifests, all the resources, they are stored in BCD, and then synchronized with workloads. So that's also important because it will have time. Our first demo involves exploiting the CD. So that's it about control plane. When it comes to worker nodes, that's the place where actual work happens. So the codes run over there, and kubelet is the main component responsible for this contingent and execution of codes. And like the API server, kubelet also exposes a REST API. But it's an internal API only. However, a sneak peek to our demos, we'll exploit unsecured kubelet API to gain unauthorized access to the cluster. What kind of security issues can we see in our case clusters? it's time to dive into OWASP top 10 list. And who knows OWASP? Yeah, well, you. OWASP is a non-profit organization aiming at increasing security awareness among developers. They publish top 10 list of security risks for various technologies. They started with web applications and then they moved to other technologies as well. And last year, for the very first time, they published this top 10 list of security risks for Kubernetes. And this list is like a hit parade. So let's take a look at our chart toppers. I will focus only on those which we will explore in some way in our demos. So number one, obviously, is secure workload configuration. Basically, which allows for any privileged configurations like root users, private devices that privilege load, and that kind of stuff. And then what we are going to explore in our demos is also K4, lack of centralized police enforcement, and it's very well connected to K1. Why? Because basically we should reject, or our Kubernetes cluster should reject any misconfigured workload. So we shouldn't be able as developers to deploy an unsecured workload. So we need some sort of usually application controller which basically rejects any, for example, pods or deployments with root access. Then what we are going to look at is also K7, reset network segmentation controls. As probably you know, Kubernetes exposes this flat network security model. So basically, each pod can communicate with any other pod by default. So again, if you have like different workloads deployed into the same cluster, it exposes some sort of vulnerability because you can access resources which do not belong to your namespace, for example. Then K8 is also important, secrets management framework. And again, it's important to mention that Kubernetes secrets are not encrypted. So if they are not encrypted, basically anyone who gets their hands on Kubernetes secrets can see them in plain form. And also K9 and K10 misconfigured cluster components together with updated and vulnerable Kubernetes components. And they go hand in hand. And if you don't watch for if you don't keep your application Kubernetes components up to date, you may end up with a bunch of uninvited guests in your cluster. Okay, so that's it about theory. Let's move to the practical side. This will be like a 101 course in Kubernetes hackings, but hopefully you will get a sense of danger and you will see how a series of simple misconfigurations can lead to the ultimate compromise of the entire system. Here, I will need your help. I have this vulnerable application prepared. The link's available in my slide. It's available also on my Twitter account. So please register your new accounts, log in, and wait to be hacked. However, remember, don't use any real data, just make names, no real passwords, just some random ones. My objective here is to hijack your accounts and leverage secrets. So let the fun begin. Oops, okay. Okay, let's move to this application. The link is available as you see on my Twitter account. I will log in as Patrycja. And I see that a couple of you already registered, so we do have some new accounts to be added. So thank you for your cooperation and waiting for more. Okay, so let's move to my terminal. I will log into my Evil server. The Evil server is the server from which I will do all the hacking. And basically, the server is in the same subnet as my OWASP Kubernetes cluster. So the very first thing which hackers do is like some sort of a reconnaissance, port scanning, and they usually do use tools like ncat, nmap, and that kind of tooling. However, here we are targeting this Kubernetes cluster, and let's use kubectl. kubectl is a tool developed by CyberArk security company, and like kubectl is a wrapper over API server API. kubectl is a wrapper about kubelet API. So kubelet is deployed on each Kubernetes node, border node. So let's come the site of range, but for Open API. I'm using a pretty small signing range because I don't want you to waste long. And yes, surprise, we do have an Open Kubernetes API. So let's try to use it. This is a REST-based API, so we can use curl simply. That's pretty not fun because there is on this part there is not a low endpoint. Let's use post endpoint. We do have quite a lot of. So let's just display our course names. Okay, we do have demo web server and demo server deployed. That's a service, right? So what can we do more? We do have this Open Kubernetes API, and if we have kubectl scan command, and let's look for help here. We do have two subcommands, RCE and token. RCE basically looks for any remote code execution available in host. What does it mean, remote code execution? It's not like a true remote code execution. It's basically checking whether shell is possible and checks whether ls is possible inside the code. Once we have a shell available, then most likely we can do something more. And then we also have this another subcommand available, token. It scans for all the tokens in a given node. Usually that's also super useful because we do have different workloads configured with different service accounts. So most likely some service accounts are configured with extra privileges, which we could use. However, here we are focusing on this RCE command first. So let's scan RCE and let's see what's available on our node. Oops, yeah, I need this one. And again, surprise, surprise, we do have some RCD available. So take a look at our demo application. So our demo server and demo web, and they have remote code execution available, so basically then execute some commands inside those pods. But also, if you take a look at Calico, that's a default installation of Calico. Calico is the CNI plugin, one of the most popular CNI plugins for Kubernetes, and it also exposes the shell. Okay, but we are interested and we are targeting our demo application. I'm on the project here at hand, so let's take a look at the demo server pod, and let's try to actually execute something inside this pod. First, let's let it be like a simple web command. Okay, we are root. What a surprise again, right? Okay, so we know that we can execute something inside this pod, and we have a lot of options here. The next, once the hacker sees this remote code execution, the next thing they go for is a reverse shell. What is a reverse shell? Let's first think about a regular shell. When you want to access a remote machine, basically you connect from your client machine. You usually necessitate from your client machine to this remote server. You need to provide the credentials, and you are given a shell. A reverse shell is the other way around. So instead of a client machine connecting to a remote machine, the remote machine connects to a client machine, this way bypassing this authentication step. And for this one to execute, usually Netcat is a way to go, but I need two terminals because I need to open some listening process on my evil server. Then I will execute this NC to connect to my evil server from inside the pod. So I need to log into my evil server to open another session. I'm listening on port 44. And now here, I need to connect to my evil server on port 44, and I'm gonna execute shell. Okay, add in connection received. Okay, so let's focus now on our shell. So yes, we are inside. Usually, again, we are doing some sort of reconnaissance. Well, why I should be root? Yes, I am root. Then let's see mouse. Unfortunately, this pod is not deployed in privilege mode. It would be visible in mouse where they are not yet in privilege mode. Okay, so we are not, we can't access the host file system. Okay, let's see what's listening of this code, on this code. Okay, we have one process listening on this port, most likely that's our demo server process. It would be good to leave some traffic here. Let's see if we have TCP dump available. Unfortunately, TCP dump is not available. I'm using this redirect because this reverse shell I have is not a fully interactive shell, so I need some stream for warning to see on the streams. Terror stream in this case. Okay, however, let's see if we have an APK available here. Okay, yes, we do have APK available, so let's just add TCP dump. Okay, we have TCP dump installed. We are root, so let's give it a try and let's listen and snip traffic on this 1994. and my kind request to you, yes, refresh your pages. Thank you. Let's see some more options coming, please. Okay, we do have our first bearer token available. Let's copy this one, because if you take a look at the details of our demo application, it uses JWT tokens as a session mechanism. So most likely we just hijacked one of the tokens. So let's refer the page. And Professor 56, you've been hacked. Are you here? Congratulations, and thank you for your cooperation. It was a pleasure to thank you. Okay, so that was the first successful demo. Let's take a look at some summary and the problems we've observed here. So the main problem was an open Kubernetes API. If we take a look at Kubernetes documentation, we see that those are the defaults, like admins out, defaults to true, and authorization to mode is always allowed. Fortunately, so basically those two settings, they allow for full access to Kubernetes API. Fortunately, usually we use managed Kubernetes like in clouds, or some sort of a proven installation method like kubectl, and those have sensible defaults. So yeah, it's not that bad as you would imagine. Still, Kubernetes could do better with those secure defaults. So let's sum up vulnerabilities about oh my god. Oh, come on, can someone help with those flickering? Yeah, apologies for this one. Some technical problems happen with the equipment. Hopefully, okay, it got better. So we have this Open Kubernetes API, and it falls under K9 misconfigured cluster components. And then we have a series of K1 secure vulnerable configuration, so misconfiguration on the container level. So basically, we had writing devices that we could install at anything we could imagine. The container was running as root. We were able to execute the container, and there were quite a few tools available, and reverse shell was possible. Another issue is about networking. We observed unencrypted traffic and also open egress to internet. So basically, you could download any package like TCP down from the internet and install whatever you want from the internet, download it from the internet. And when it comes to this unencrypted tracking, that's funny, because I'm not able to count how many times I had this discussion with junior DevOps developers that, come on, we don't need this encryption inside our private networks. And it only provides extra overhead. First of all, overhead is not that big, and two things. If you want to have secure configuration, definitely you need to go for end-to-end encryption, especially when it comes to sensitive data, and your tokens are sensitive data. Okay, so it's time for our second demo. This time, to hijack your accounts, I exploit another application deployed in the same cluster. Okay, so let's switch. So now I have this Hello RCE application available. So basically, that's like a full application. It says flow to you. And however, and it has an RCE vulnerability. So hello, and when it gives me www data. So basically, it suggests that there is Apache HTTP server running underneath because www data is a default user for Apache HTTP server. And again, we are like a blood trick only. If we see RCE, we are gonna go for a reverse show. So let's do it again. I need to, first of all, I need to refresh the IP of my, refresh my memory and see the IP of my keyboard server. And I'm gonna open NC again, and here. Let's try and see once again, but with this IP. Okay, we are in again. What a surprise, right? Okay, and we do see, here, you see that this card is mounted in previous mode. So that would be nice. We could mount the file system if we were all, so but we are not. So what else can we do? Again, some sort of reconnaissance. I will take a look at my cheat sheet because I don't always remember all those IPs, and I don't want to keep you long to scan the entire subnet. So I'm targeting this IP. Yeah, I know what's underneath, but let's see that for ourselves. Oops.
Keep that double sided.
We're going to do it again, and let's see if we have some sort of a state session. Let's connect again. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Everything is impacts.
And most likely why it doesn't work, because unfortunately I was doing some last minute changes and tests, and I just started my code, and that's now at different IP address, most likely. Now, I'm doing some sort of cheating because I'm accessing my node and Kubernetes cluster just to check. This one. Yes, the IP has changed. Yeah, I wanted a clean version, and I haven't updated IP here. And as I said, it would take quite a long time to scan the entire network. Obviously, hackers must be very patient people. And I'm not that patient, but also I don't want to keep you so long. That's why we are doing this again. So, we are in, we do have a share, and now this one should work. Yeah, this one works. Okay, that's pleasure of line hacking. Sometimes you do run into some problems, but we do have this open, as you see, Redis server. So basically, Redis is this key value store, and it uses this RESP Redis relaxation protocol. And it's important to have some background of web applications. and JWT management. JWTs, JSON Web Tokens, are recommended as a stateless session mechanism, right? However, when you want to develop a secure application, you need to provide a logout method. With JWTs, that's why you have a problem. Why? Because you are not able to invalidate JWT tokens. So here the state strikes back, and we need to have some sort of persistent store to store our invalidated tokens. And here Redis is used as this store for invalidated tokens. Let's see what's inside. First of all, let's see whether or not we can access Redis. So let's try this ping command. Yeah, we can. And let's see all the tokens. Nothing here, because most likely, I did the cleanup before my demo, and I cleaned up my Redis store. So my question to you now, log out and log in again. We should get some tokens in the store then. Are you ready? Not yet, please.
Optimus, we're back.
So let me check whether or not it works. But let me log out myself. Yeah, we do have, but now I got which one is mine and which one is not yours. Then we need to then check both of those tokens. But however, to successfully exploit this token, we first need to delete it from this store of invalidated tokens. Okay, so this one is deleted, and let's try to not to use this token in my demo application. Hopefully that's not my token. Yes, it wasn't my token. Process 56, you've been hacked again. You are freaky, or you are the only one cooperating, so thank you. Special thanks to you. Okay, so that was it when it comes to second demo. Let's sum it up. And hopefully we'll have some time for our third demo. But what went wrong in our second demo? We had obviously quite a few issues. First of all, remote code execution available in one Kubernetes deployment. So this one remote code execution in one Kubernetes deployment led to a compromise in another application running in the same cluster. So we must always ensure that our components are up to date and catch to prevent such vulnerabilities, but also we need to take a look at basic network segmentation controls. So basically, you could see like our ICE application right in a different namespace could access a Redis server deployed for another application in another namespace. So definitely that's a problem of use of network segmentation controls. So I told you about this flat network security model in Kubernetes, and that's basically the problem, the root of the problem. But fortunately, Kubernetes provides some ways of traffic segmentation, and we can deploy network policies to manage how we segregate and create network segments. Also, most of CNI plugins also provide some more advanced methods of configuration of network segmentations. And again, the same problem is as in our first demo. on the container level, we had quite a few tools available, and we were sure was possible. And last but not least, unused access to Redis. So as I explained, Redis was used as a store for invalidated tokens, JWT tokens, and without any authentication, we could easily access it. Okay. So usually with this presentation, it's enough to have those two demos. However, we were lucky and we went through those demos pretty smoothly. Not as smoothly as I would want, but still we managed. So let's do some more hacking and some extra demo. This is like one of the new demos when I show privilege escalation and escaping the pods. So now I'm changing to a regular user of our Kubernetes cluster, and I'm switching to kubectl. Let's try get nodes here. You see that I'm John Doe user. I can't get nodes on this cluster. I don't have privileges. Let me see what privileges I have. And I'm in this full app namespace. Oh, and so basically, full app namespace is the only namespace John Doe user has access to. And they can create, basically they can do anything with deployments and pods in this namespace. So when we are, how this would happen? First of all the hacking, most of the hacking, or a lot of exploits is done by designers. So it would be like a malicious employee who is like a full admin for our full app application. Or another way is like hacking the client machines. A hacker got access to the client machine and they found this kubeconfig file. So the first thing is like we do have access, but we have quite limited access. On the other hand, it turns out it's not that limited if we can like deploy edit pods or we can execute into pods. So let's see this manifest, which basically deploys code with all the privileges in full app namespace. So it has this host network, host PIC, host IPC, security context privilege, and we are mounting like a node root here. So quite a lot of weird possible. Let's deploy that. Okay, it should be available. Let's see this full app namespace. Yes, we do have this pod. Okay, so let's basically exit into this pod, right? That would be really handy. And let's get bash. So, okay, I've forgotten the namespace. Oh, sorry.
Here. Here.
It seems that I'm generous. You know, it's not that easy to do like hacking. A lot of things can go badly. Okay, but we are in. And as you see, we are on actually not actual log. So what can we do here? We could do like everything. We are inside. We've taken over the machine, the host node. basically here. So we could do whatever we want. However, we are targeting this web application. So let's see etcd. We do have, this is a control plane, that's another misconfiguration of the cluster that we are at control plane and worker nodes of the same machine. That's definitely not recommended and not advised. However, here with bare metal Kubernetes clusters, usually it requires some extra effort to hide control plane. So even though it will be deployed on a separate machine like local nodes and control plane, we still could request to schedule our workload on a control plane. So I do have such a demo. However, here we are focusing on something different. So that's like a very simple configuration when control plane and worker nodes run the same machine. We do have access to etcd. What we are interested in is data directory. So this one. So basically this is the data directory. The only thing we need to change here, we need to do change rules because we mounted our cost-based system on the host. So let's do this one and let's try to see what's going on here. So basically we have access to the entire etcd database. What can we do now? We can display it.
What? Go.
Okay. Let's grab for syntax. We do have this demo secret, so let's grab that for demo secret. Because most likely that might be a secret for our demo application. Yes, it is. I'm really surprised, right? And we do have this GWT secret key here. Let's copy it. Well, let's take a look at how can we exploit it. So we do have, let me log in as a refresher. Let's go to this jwt.io webpage. It basically decodes JWTs. Because it's important to remember that JSON web logs, they are not encrypted, they are only encoded. So you can get access to headers and payloads. And we do have, we see that the algorithm used is Pages 256, HMAC with SHA-256, and basically it means that's a symmetric algorithm. With a symmetric algorithm, we could put up a new JWT token and change the claims, for example. So if we only knew the secret, but we do, most likely we do have the secret here. So let's try to use it. And this page comes into very handy. So this is base 64 encoded secret. And here, let's start at, let me see how many users we have. We do have quite a few, so let's try that to 7. Okay, we verify you. Because here, in claims, usually you have in some way encoded user identity. And subject usually is the claim used for this one. So here is like user ID, so let's try user ID 7 and let's see who's that gonna be. Let's replace, refresh. And claim Medea, you've been hacked. Thank you. And fortunately, that was another user that profiles. Okay, so that was our third demo. And we have still time for some short summary. So obviously you've seen here an insecure worker configuration, like going for Monday, everything was allowed. However, you need like even less privilege to take over the folks sometimes. It depends. Then obviously we have a problem with K4 lack of centralized choice enforcement. So basically those misconfigured pods should be rejected. So even if you are an admin, you should, in that namespace, you shouldn't be allowed to deploy or imagine of. So you should be like in some way control. There should be some way of controlling what's admitted to the cluster. And here, admission controllers come in handy to works like OPAUs, Governor, or any other way to control what's admitted to your clusters. And obviously K8, secret management failure, you see that demos that was not encrypted because of L64 encoded, it's not enough. Once someone gets access to those secrets, they could use it, really. Okay. So you've seen like, I can only say that today's demos showed only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Kubernetes security. It was only like 101 holes in hacking. And I could go on and on about the topic, but unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately for you, we are running out of time, so just final remarks only. It's important to remember the Swiss cheese security model. It illustrates how important is layered security or defense in depth. Like stacking slices of Swiss cheese, each layer has different risks in different layers, heights, covers the holes of different layers. So we need to put an effort and secure each layer as much as we can. Again, we are not aiming for that like perfect security, that's impossible. We want a robust defense, and that makes it challenging for bad guys to succeed and gives us, good guys, more time to detect threats and perhaps respond to them. A full little tool is only full, so we developers ourselves cannot be fools. We need to know how to use our tools wisely. And we have various paradigms to software development. We have continuous integration, we have continuous deployment, some talk about continuous refactoring, but the fundamental paradigm is continuous learning. So we must keep educating ourselves. And that's what conferences are all about, right? So thank you, special thanks for such effective cooperations in my hacking demos. I wouldn't do that without you. Thank you.